So we'll go ahead and get this started. We are going to take this quite a bit into the upper body today, and we're taking this toward a lopsided crow, keep in mind. So you're definitely going to feel things in the shoulders, all across the chest, the upper back, bit of the back line of the body as well. And since we're going toward that lopsided crow, a lot of things going to one side or the other. So just have that in mind before we begin. I'm going to go through two demonstrations before we begin. So coming into that lopsided crow, just keep in mind, this is going to be at the end of the flow. I'm going to cue a regular crow first, and that's good enough. That's as far as you want to take things to. I'll cue the lopsided crow immediately after. I'll show you how to link the two poses and just work things as best you can, and at least go into the setup of your regular crow today, all right? You definitely build strength even if you don't lift your feet. So coming into this, you're going to be at the front of the mat at the end of each sequence in a forward fold, both hands down. And spread the fingers wide, dig your fingertips into the floor, press your palms, lift your heels, and bring the knees to touch your upper arms. Now to come into this, keep your hips up high to start. Look forward, lean forward, and just take this to where you can. If you wanted to stop here, this is fine. You can lean at the edge of balancing, but keep gripping the floor and keep this active. Now to take it further, keep leaning forward and try to lean so that you can actually lift both feet at the same time. Big toes to touch, heels to your seat. Take that to where you can, whatever variation of crow you like. You can take it up higher, you can keep it down lower, whatever you want to work on today. If you want to take this as a lopsided crow, immediately after that, you'll go into a different setup. So bring this down to all fours. Now coming into this pose, you're going to keep one forearm on the floor and one elbow lifted. So I'm going to bring my right forearm down. The elbow stays aside as I bring the hand into center. So that right forearm is diagonal in relation to the rest of my body. With the other hand, I'm going to keep my left hand on the mat, but I'm going to slide it back so I can actually stack the elbow directly over the wrist. Probably further back than you think you need. You want that forearm to be vertical, keep in mind. It gives you more and more power as you press into the floor, and it's going to keep you more stable. So try not to keep bringing the hand too far forward. If you have an angle like this, it's actually very hard to stabilize yourself. So keep your elbow pulled in. Look toward that front hand. Tuck the toes of both feet, lift your knees, and bring your hips up high. The higher you can get the hips up, the better. So walk your feet in and get your hips up as high as possible from the beginning. The more vertical your torso is, the easier it's going to be to get into this pose. So I'm going to set my left knee on my left arm and keep the leg folded. Keep in mind, you don't want to just let the foot hang wherever. It's going to be hard to control your weight. So pull that in. Look forward. Squeeze the second leg into the first. Use your inner thighs. And then see about lifting that second foot. And it's an odd shape to bring yourself into. When you move to the Vinyasa, you can just step it back from here. You can always fly it back and come into this sort of plank, but then you got to get that forearm off the floor. So it's going to be a little bit less than graceful, keep in mind. But just work things as best you can. Now, if you want to go directly from one pose to the next, it's certainly possible. It's a little bit tricky. You run the risk of tumbling, which isn't that big a risk. You don't have that far to fall. But you can start this from your crow. So from here, just take your balance, and then you can decide which elbow you're going to bring down. So I'm going to bring my left elbow to the floor, which means I'm going to bring both legs over to my right side. Now here again, you want to keep everything pulled in close. Keep your butt up high. Keep your head low. Grab the floor with your fingers, and then start to pivot. Now you want to take this as slow as you can to control the movement, and at some point, it's going to get a little bit faster, and you want to bring the elbow to the floor without dropping everything down completely. And work that as best you can. And if you haven't done it before, what will probably happen is you roll out to the side. It's not that big a deal. I've done it dozens of times, didn't get a concussion or anything, but there's a probability, keep in mind. But that's kind of how it goes once you learn to do something new. Work things as best you can. And that is at the end of the sequence. And at the beginning of the sequence, just to go through this very quick, we are going to go into side crow or side plank right away. So just to review this, just because it does bear repeating, full planks when you're on two hands, 2 feet, keeping your body in line. Side plank just puts you to one side or the other. So I'm going to use my right hand as my base and roll to the outside edge of my right foot. And this is pretty much the medium variation of the pose here with your legs stacked, keeping your core engaged to keep your hips in line with the shoulders and heels best you can. Now, the real muscle work of this pose is really keeping your core engaged to hold on to that lift. With your base arm, you just cut the shoulder over the wrist to keep the arm straight. You're not doing a one-arm push-up. Now, if you have trouble keeping this lifted, a few ways to back off. You can bring the foot of the top leg down to the floor. You can set it behind the bottom leg. You can set it in front. Doesn't matter. Just press into the floor. Keep your hips up high. And if you need to back off further than this, especially if you're tired, just bring the knee of the bottom leg down to the floor, line up the top leg, and then wherever you take it to, just reach your free arm high. All right, keep everything open to the side, keep everything vertically stacked. You can always just stay here. And if you need to back off from the original position, just stay in place. If you can hold this position, the first round, we're going to twist, and you can step the top foot in front of the bottom one. We'll take it back and forth like this, keeping the hips lifted. For the second round, you're going to reach the arm past your head, lift the top leg, take it back and forth, reaching, and then squeezing the elbow and knee toward each other. But just work things as best you can today and see how far you want to go to this. And like I said, it's going to be a lot on the upper body. Don't be afraid just to sit in side plank all by itself if that's where you need to be. Just holding the pose definitely builds strength on its own. So to get this started, let's come to a seat on the shins here. And to start, we're going to stretch out the bottoms of the feet. So bring your knees together and your feet together underneath you. And then tuck your toes. And reach back and see that all 10 toes are actually going to comply. Now give yourself a moment here with the toes tucked, press them down into the floor, and just sit this upright. And I know if you don't do this very often, this can be excruciating. You can let this go at any time. I'm not trying to torture you here. If you can actually hold on to this, just keep the feet active. Keep yourself lifted. And again, you can release this whenever you like. Now, if you had about enough, go ahead, flatten your feet underneath you, come to a comfortable seat. And if you can hold on to this for a minute or two, just go ahead and take your position. But either way, just come to a seat with your torso up to vertical, so engage around the belly and around the low ribs to keep yourself upright. Go ahead, rest your hands in your lap with the palms open. Reach the top of your head toward the ceiling. Bring your chin in just a little bit. Relax the shoulders down. And then just close your eyes. So just take a moment to settle in like this. Let your mind quiet down. And then when you're ready, start to deepen your breathing here. So with your inhales, draw in as much as you can. Try to fill up your lungs and hold on to all that breath at the top for just a moment. When you exhale, constrict the back of your throat. So slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. Just keep breathing like this to begin. Now when you're ready, take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just open your eyes. And now go ahead and bring your hands down in front of you. Shake out your feet, especially if your toes were still tucked. And then go ahead and bring yourself back to a comfortable seat on the shins. You can bring this crosswise, whatever you like. Go ahead and bring this upright, and we'll take this slow. So with your next inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Inhale, reach this up high again. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, through center again. Inhale, reach this up high. And with the exhale this time, lean to the right. Right hand to the floor, left arm reaching right. Stretch this long for a moment. Bring your gaze up high. With your next inhale, back up to center. Reach up through both arms. And then with the exhale, lean left. Left hand down, right arm reaching left. Stretch this out long, gaze up high here. With your next inhale, bring it back to center. Reach up high. Now with the exhale this time, make your left hand into a fist. With your right hand, take hold of the left wrist. Draw that left arm across, gaze up high here, and just stretch your left side long and breathe. With your next inhale, bring it back to center. Reach through both arms. With the exhale, right hand becomes a fist. Left hand takes hold of the right wrist. Draw the right arm across, gaze up high, and just stretch the right side. And then with your next inhale, bring it to center, both arms high. And with the exhale, bring the hands down through center, down to the floor. And go ahead and bring yourself up into all fours. And I want to set this up for a twist from here, so we'll thread the needle. So wristing the shoulders, knees underneath the hips to start. And I want you to stretch this out just a little bit. Walk your hands forward, maybe about one hand's length or so. Now we'll take this back and forth before we hold the twist, so be ready to move. So with your next inhale, reach the right arm up high. Exhale, right arm underneath, shoulder comes all the way down. Press into your left hand, inhale the right arm up high. And with the exhale, twist again and bring the right shoulder to the floor. Inhale, reach the right arm up high. And with the exhale, twist one more time. Now keep the right arm down this time. So press to the back of the right hand and the right shoulder. Bring your gaze up high toward the ceiling. Keep the left shoulder stacked above the right. Now if you want to take it further, stay open toward your left side. Maybe start to stretch your left hand straight forward. And if you want to go further still, keep the right arm grounded. You can step the left foot back, but if you lift the left knee, drop the left hip down toward the floor to square your hips as you hold the twist. Now, if you lifted the left knee, go ahead and set it back down. Bring the left hand back in if it's forward. With your next inhale, reach your right arm up high. And then with the exhale, bring that right hand down to the mat, back to all fours. And I'll take it to the other side for the camera here. So when you're ready, go ahead and inhale your left arm up high this time. And with the exhale, left arm underneath, bring the shoulder all the way down. Press into your right hand, reach the left arm high. And then exhale, bring that left arm underneath and move into the twist. One more time, press into the right hand, inhale the left arm up high. With the exhale, bring that left arm down to the floor one more time and keep the shoulder down. Press to the back of the left hand, stack the right shoulder above the left and look up toward the ceiling. And good enough here, keep that deep twist, try to keep your shoulders stacked. Now if you want to take it further, maybe slide the right hand straight forward and maybe step your right foot straight back. Now if you lift the right knee, be sure you're dropping the hip, but keep the right shoulder high. And then if you lifted the right knee, set it back down. Drag that right hand back in if it's forward. With your next inhale, reach your left arm up high. And then with the exhale, just come back down, back to all fours. Then from all fours, take a moment here and move around. Stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, let the shoulders and hips move, and just feel things out, loosen things up. And just notice where you're loose and where you're tight before we take things too far. And then bring this back into center in all fours, and we'll take this into the wrist right away. So walk your hands in. So bring the hands in a little bit closer to your knees than your usual all fours. So maybe it's about 1 or 2 hands lengths forward. Now flip your hands over, backs of the hands down, palms facing up, fingertips pointing in toward your knees. Do that on both sides. Now spread your fingers out wide, press the fingertips down, press your spine up toward the ceiling. And keep your spine rounded. Keep your belly pulled in like this. Like something's pressing up into your belly, like somebody's trying to punch you up from the floor. Now, as you hold on to that, I just want you to move up and down through the scapula. So right now, spread the spine up as high as you can so the shoulder blades stay spread apart. And then keep your arms straight. But sink your chest low to the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. And then again, press this straight up. And just keep taking this back and forth. Now, it's a subtle movement here, not too dramatic. Your belly stays pulled in. Your pelvis stays at about the same angle. Keep pressing down to the fingertips. And again, just keep that movement back and forth, up and down, just across the upper back. And just breathe with us here and feel it out. And keep in mind, if you're not feeling too much while you're doing this, if you're just getting used to it, just work it as best you can. So when you sink down, you want the shoulder blades to squeeze toward each other as much as possible. When you press back up, you want them to spread as wide apart as you can. And then the next time you press this all the way up, just stay up for a moment. Press down to your fingertips. And then just go ahead and release your hands for a moment. Come up onto the fingertips and walk the hands a little, and walk the hands forward. So come into your regular all fours, resting the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Now, if you want to take this even further, and keep in mind this will be a little bit more intense, you can walk the hands a little bit further forward like you did when you thread the needle. So hands about 1 hand's distance further. But rotate your fingers out to the sides. Rotate your fingers as far in toward your knees as you can. And just take the position that's going to work for you right here. If it's too intense to bring the hands further forward, just keep them back in a regular position, or maybe even come closer to your knees. But keep the palms down flat, spread your fingers out wide, grip the floor, press your spine up toward the ceiling. And just feel that stretch, let it move through the wrists and through the undersides of the forearms. Now this is good enough all by itself. But if you're ready to take it further, shift the weight to your left knee. And then keep the right knee bent, but lift the right leg and reach that right foot over to the left as far as you can. And then just bring this back into center and set your right knee down. Now keep your left knee bent. And then lift the leg. Reach that left foot as far right as you can. And then bring it back to center with your left knee down. Now you're still gripping the floor. Go ahead and extend your right leg straight back this time. Now with your right leg extended, reach to the big toe, lock the knee and feel the lift in the glutes on the right side. Keep digging your fingertips down. And then just pulse from the right heel. So on my count, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just bring the right knee down. Take it on the side, extend your left leg straight back, reach to the big toe, lock the knee, keep the leg straight. You want to feel the lift in the glutes, and you're still gripping the floor with your fingertips. Pulses here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring the left knee down. And then come up onto your fingertips, walk your hands in toward your knees, come down to a seat. Just take a moment here, shake your hands out, loosen up your fingers and loosen up your wrists. And then from all fours, just go ahead and set this up. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips to start. And we're going to take this into a modified side plank. So use the right side as your base here to begin. Step the left foot behind the right and bring the left hand to your left hip. And just stack everything. Left shoulder, left hip above the right. Bring your gaze up high. Grip the floor with the right hand. And then maybe reach that left arm up high. Maybe lift your left leg, but hold here. All right, switch it out. Bring it through center. Bring your left hand down. Bring your left knee down. Now step the right foot behind your left. And then bring the right hand to your right hip. And again, just open to the side. Gaze up high. And if you're going to go further, grip the floor with your left hand. Reach the right arm high. Maybe lift that right foot. And then go ahead and release this. Come back down. Come back to center. But this time, come down under your forearms. So bring the forearms down to the floor. Now I want you to set this up with the palms together. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Keep them shoulder width best you can. Then step your feet straight back when they come into a forearm plank. So feet about hips width distance apart. Now from here, just press into the floor. Keep your body in one long line. And then roll your heels over to the right side. And come up onto your left hand. The right forearm's going to stay on the floor. Now you can stay like this. This is good enough. Stay open to your left side. If you want to take this further, reach your left arm high. And then with the exhale, we're going to twist. Reach that left arm underneath and keep the hips lifted. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Exhale, twist underneath. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, the left arm high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach this up high. Exhale, twist one more time. Now inhale, the left arm up high. And then with the exhale, bring the left forearm down and bring the hands together. Now, bring the heels up to center and then roll over to the left side and stay on your left forearm. Come up onto your right hand. Now again, this is good enough. Just keep your hips lifted. If you want to go further, take an inhale, reach the right arm high. And with the exhale, twist and reach that right arm underneath. Inhale, the right arm high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, the right arm high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, reach us up high. Exhale, twist one more time. Now with your next inhale, reach the right arm high. And then with the exhale, come back to center, back to your forearm plank. Give yourself a break here for a moment. Bring your knees down. Come up onto your hands. Just move your shoulders and hips side to side. All right, that's just a short intermission because I'm trying not to kill people here. So bring your forearms down to the floor. All right, so with the forearms back down, palms together, the elbows are shoulder width. Step your feet back, find your forearm plank. Let's make it interesting here. So go ahead, roll your heels over to the right. Come up onto your left hand again. Now it's good enough to stay here. Keep your hips lifted. This is plenty all by itself. Now if you want to take this further, reach the left arm past your head, bicep over your ear, and then lift your left leg up off the floor. Now back and forth, take an inhale. With exhale, squeeze this in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee again. Now inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee one more time. With your next inhale, reach this out long. And then with the exhale, just come back to center, back to your forearm plank. Take a breath. And then take it to your left side. So when you're ready, roll the heels over to the left. Stay on the left forearm. Come up onto the right hand. Keep your hips lifted. You can stay here. This is enough. If you want to take it further, reach your right arm past your head, bicep over the ear. And go ahead and lift that right leg up off the floor. Now from here, take an inhale. Exhale, squeeze in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, elbow to knee one more time, and then inhale, reach this out long. With the exhale, come back to center, back to your forearm plank. That's probably about enough of that. Go ahead, bring your knees down, come back up to all fours. And from all fours, take a moment here, move around. And then just to make things a little bit more interesting before we move on, we'll play with that lopsided shape just a little bit. So go ahead and bring your right forearm down to the floor, but stay on your left hand. So the right elbow stays to the side. Bring the right hand to center. That form's diagonal in relation to the rest of your body. Slide your left hand back so you can stack the elbow directly over the wrist and keep the elbow pulled in. Now look at the right hand. Tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees. Get your hips up high. If you can take it further, walk your feet and get your hips higher still. Now keep the hips high like this. Keep that left elbow pulled in. You can just hold. If you want to take it further, inhale your left leg up high. Keep it lifted. Bend your left knee, scorpion the shape. Let your hips open up. And then to go further, inhale, straighten your left leg. And with the exhale, pull this in close, left knee to left arm. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bring the knee down to your arm. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, pull the knee in one more time. Now hold here and set the left knee on your left arm. Now this is good enough. Now if you can take this further, use your inner thigh. Squeeze the right leg into the left. That's as far as we're going to go with this. Go ahead, bring your left foot down. Bring both knees down. Come up onto your hands back to all fours. From all fours, just take a moment to breathe. And we're just approaching that lopsided crow setup there. Let's take it on the other side. So stay on your right hand, but come down to the left forearm this time. So left elbow to the side, bring the left hand to center. Slide your right hand back so you can stack the elbow directly over the wrist and keep that elbow pulled in. Now tuck the toes of both feet, lift your knees, get your hips up high. Walk your feet further forward, get your hips up higher still. Keep the right elbow pulled in, you can always just stay here. Now with an inhale, lift your right leg high, hold. And then try to scorpion the pose. Bend the right knee, hang the right foot left, let your hips open up to keep that right elbow pulled in. With an inhale, straighten the right leg. And with the exhale, bring that knee forward, touch the right arm. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, bring the knee down to the arm. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, bring the knee down to the arm. Now keep it down, set the knee on your arm. Keep your hips up high, use your inner thigh, squeeze the left leg into the right. And then go and set the right foot down, bring your knees to the mat. Come back up to all fours and take a moment here and breathe. Now you can stay here and breathe, take a little break, maybe take another stretch before you move on. But whenever you're ready, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips, and find your downward facing dog. Now once you find your position, just take a moment, hip paddle out. And take a look at how you set it up. Hands about shoulder width distance apart, pressing your palms, flatten your hands. Sink your chest low to the floor, but at the same time, press your hips up as high as you can. So as you're reaching up to the hips, let this lengthen and straighten the upper body. One line from the wrist creases through to the hips. Keep a little bit of tension in your core, through the belly and around the low ribs. And if your legs are tense, if your hamstrings are tight, let that go. Put a little bend in your knees. And you can always stay loose. You can pedal this out and let your hips move side to side. When you're ready, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, bend the knees, look forward, step to the front of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll fold. So feet about hips width distance apart, deep bend in the knees, let your belly touch your thighs. Let your head hang, let your spine round, let everything go long and loose, and let the muscles in your neck relax. Now you can hang your hands to the floor. You can reach to opposite elbows if you like, and maybe shake this side to side to loosen further. And then from wherever you are, just release any grip that you have, but keep the bend in the knees to begin. And just slowly restack your spine. So round this up to standing, bring your head up last. And just open up your palms at your sides. Now when you're ready here, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, just bring your hands down to heart center. Now take a moment here to breathe, set an intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. With your next inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. So hinge at the hips, start with a straight spine, put a little bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged, move smoothly, and then just release this at the bottom. Now with an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips to the floor or to the shins, lengthen forward to the crown of your head. And then with the exhale, bring your hands to the mat and step it back to high plank. Now find your shape here. Resync the shoulders, palms press to the floor away from you. Press your spine up toward the ceiling and keep your spine lifted to keep the shoulder blades spread apart. Use your core, keep your hips underneath the shoulders and heels best you can. Take a deep inhale. And with the exhale, slowly bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Now keep your body in line, elbows pulled into your sides and lower with control all the way down into your belly. Once you're down, flatten the feet out behind you, hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. Let's take it up and down through low cobras. With an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, peel this up again. Exhale, roll back down. Inhale, peel up one more time. Stay lifted here. Now keep the lift in your upper body, press into your feet. Take some more all the way out of your hands. Elbows at your sides, pull the shoulders back, look forward. And lift this up a little bit higher. Take an inhale. Exhale, roll it back down. Now hands under the shoulders, elbows in at your sides, press the palms to the floor. And we'll take it to upward facing dog. So with an inhale, straighten your arms. Now pull your chest forward, let your hips hang, stay on the tops of your feet in this position. And keep your legs active, work to lift the knees up from the mat. Now take it further, kick your feet down, squeeze your glutes. Pull the hips forward, deepen and lengthen the arc through the front. Lift with your arms, but be sure you're lifting with your shoulders as well. Make your neck nice and long, reach the crown of the head straight up and pull your chest forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the belly in. Bring your hips up high, back to down dog. Pedal out for a moment, let your hips move side to side. Now from your downward facing dog, take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale to standing arms, reach up high. And with the exhale, sink in a chair this time. Put the weight to heels, bend your knees, bring your hips down low. Now pay attention to your stance. Feet not too wide within hips with distance. Big toes and knees towards center, belly pulled in. I want to bind this from above. So right hand behind your head with the palm facing in. Now left hand behind the right. Now you can take hold of the right wrist. That might be good enough. Keep your chest open, keep the shoulders back. If you can take it further, maybe reach for the right elbow. Now keep your chest open, keep your gaze forward, maybe sink down lower. And you're still in chair. Now lift your toes up off the floor. And just move from your feet. So roll this forward, bring your heels up high. And then set your heels back down. Bring it forward again, lift your heels. And then set your heels down. One more time forward, heels stay high this time. Now keep your gaze forward, keep breathing. If you want to take it deeper, maybe hinge from the knees. And bring your thighs down toward parallel off the floor. Now keep your chest open, keep your torso upright. You don't have to go too far. And then from wherever you are, just set the right heel down. Left heel still lifted. Squeeze the legs toward each other. You're still in chair, but see about hovering that left foot for a moment. Now take an inhale. With the exhale, release. Both hands down. Left foot steps behind you, low lunge. Now from your low lunge, we're going to take this into the side plank. Left hand's your base. Now roll to the outside edge of the left foot side, your right foot back. Take the version that works. You can have your right foot down or your left knee down, or maybe stack your legs. Hips up high. Keep your core engaged. Reach your right arm high. Now if you want to stay here, that's fine. If you want to twist, I recommend stepping that right foot forward. But take an inhale. And then with the exhale, right arm underneath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist one more time. Now with your next inhale, reach the right arm high and just hold your side plank here. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, right hand forward, right foot forward, back to low lunge. Now take it down lower, left knee down, left foot flat behind, sink your hips down, press them forward, and then I'll take this to Anjaneyasana. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms up high and just open up. Now keep your gaze up high, sink your hips down low, and just breathe. Now find that long arc all along the left side from your left knee all the way through to the left shoulder. And as you're sinking down, keep on breathing here and keep stretching long through your fingertips. Now take an inhale. And then with the exhale, bring both hands down inside the right foot. Now walk the right foot forward toward the upper right corner of the mat. Ankle at least a little bit past the knee. Now curl the toes of the right foot, keep them curled. Roll to the outside edge, bring the knee out to the side and keep that right leg tense as your hips open up. Now as you press in your hands, root down to the left hand, keep that left arm straight. Take a half bind, right arm behind your back, palm face away, pull the right shoulder back. So open your chest up toward the left side and look toward the back of the mat. Now keep your chest open, keep that right knee out to the side and keep your left hip low. This is good enough right here. Now two ways to deepen. If you want to take it further, maybe kick into the top of the left foot, just hover the left knee up off the floor with that left hip pulling forward, lots of tension in the leg. And if you want to engage the tension another way, keep your right arm bound, but you can bend the left knee, pull the heel in toward your seat without backing up your hips. There's no grip here, but just take things to where you can. Again, keep your left hip low, keep looking toward the back of the mat. Now keep your half bind, take an inhale. With the exhale, release from wherever you are. So tuck the toes of the left foot, lift your left knee, set the right foot down flat, and just square up your hips for a moment here. So you're basically in a low lunge with a half bind. Now when you're ready, with an inhale, bring that left foot forward, one pace behind the right, left hand to your hip, and then go ahead and bring your torso all the way upright. We'll take this into a pyramid stance. So it's a short stance, 3 feet front to back, still about hips width distance side to side. Keep your hips squared forward. Both legs straight, left foot points to the side, about 45 degrees or so. Now bring your left hand to the left side to meet your right hand. Draw the shoulders back, keep your chest open here. And then we're just going to take this toward halfway down. Legs stay as straight as you can keep them. Take an inhale. With the exhale, slowly lead with your chest coming down toward halfway. Feel that stretch in the back of the right leg. Inhale, bring this all the way up. Exhale, hinge forward again, just toward halfway down. Inhale, bring this all the way up. Exhale, hinge forward one more time. Now stay forward. Now keep your shoulders back, your chest open, keep your gaze forward. If this is too intense, you can always bend the right knee. Try to keep the leg straight. Pull the right hip back and left hip forward. Now if you don't have a lot of problem keeping that right leg straight, and if you want to take it further, hold your pose, but just lift your left heel up off the floor. Now everybody take an inhale. And with the exhale, slowly stay folded, but put a deep bend in your right knee, touch the belly of your right thigh. And if the left heel is not lifted already, go ahead and lift it from here. Now go slower to take this up to balancing. If you can stay low, focus the weight on the right foot, maybe lift the left, pull the knee in close. But wherever you're going to take this to, even if you need another step, bring yourself all the way up to vertical with your left knee high. Now once you're up, dig down to that right big toe. Just stay tall, keep your gaze forward. And then go ahead and release your left hand. Now take hold of your left knee with the left hand. Draw that knee up higher still. Keep the right shoulder pulled back. This is good enough. Now if you want to take things further, reach that left hand inside the left leg, find the big toe. And then maybe pull the knee higher. Maybe extend that leg further. And if you can extend the leg straight, maybe lift the foot up a little bit here. But keep your gaze forward, stay tall. Now everybody take an inhale. And then with the exhale, still balancing, left knee lifted, hands to your hips for just a moment. We're going to take a version of dancer. So I want you to line your left knee up with the right. And then go ahead and reach back with both hands. That left foot is lifted, so take hold of the left foot with both hands. You can hold the foot, the ankle, the shin, whatever works best. And then once you've got that grip, line up the knees, kick in your hands, let this draw your shoulders back and open up the front of your body. Now take this just a little bit further. Put just a little bend in your right knee. Hinge from the right hip to bring your torso forward just slightly. And now I want you to hold this basic position with your left knee bent, but release your grip. Both arms are reaching behind. Keep the shoulders pulled back. Now if you can take it further still, maybe start to hinge from the right hip. Bring your chest down toward parallel with the floor. Keep the left knee bent and left foot lifted. Now if you can take that deeper, bend into your left knee and bring your belly down to touch your thigh. Just take this to where you can. Everybody take an inhale. And then with the exhale, release this. Both hands down, both feet down, forward, fold. When you're ready, take an inhale, lift up halfway. And then with the exhale, set your hands. Let's take this into crow. So palms down, grip the floor with your fingers, lift your heels, and then bring your knees to touch your arms. So look forward. Leaning is plenty if you're going to stay here, but take it to the edge of balancing. Now if you're going to balance it, keep leaning to lift your feet together, big toes to touch, heels to your seat. That's good enough. And then if you want to take the lopsided crow, come down to all fours. Now for this, bring your right forearm down to the mat. Right elbow to the side, bring the right hand to center that forearm's diagonal. Slide your left hand back, stack the elbow over the wrist, and keep that elbow pulled in. Look at the right hand, tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees, get your hips up high. And then walk your feet in, get the hips higher still. Left knee goes to left arm, right leg squeezes to the left, use your inner thighs, and then maybe lift the right foot. Take it to where you can, and when you're ready, go ahead and take it through your Vinyasa. Once you find your down dog, pedal that. From downward facing dog, we'll take this to the other side. So when you're ready here, take an inhale. With the exhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or float to the front. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold this down. Inhale to standing, reach up high. And with the exhale, sink into chair again. Put the weight to your heels, bend your knees, and bring your hips low. Now again, pay attention to your feet. Within hips width distance, big toes and knees towards center, belly pulled in. Bind this from up high. Left hand behind your head with the palm in. Right palm behind the left. Now with your right hand, maybe take hold of the left wrist. Good enough. Keep your shoulders back and keep your chest open. Or maybe even reach for your left elbow. And again, keep the shoulders back and your chest open either way. Now keep your gaze forward. Maybe sink down a little bit further. You're still in chair, but curl the toes up off the floor. Now only moving from your feet. Roll this forward, bring your heels up high. And then roll your heels back down. Bring it forward again. Lift your heels. And then set your heels down. One more time forward. Heels stay high. Now keep breathing, keep your gaze forward. But if you want to take it deeper, maybe hinge from the knees and bring your thighs down toward parallel with the floor. Just work things to where you can go. And then just set your left heel down. The right heel's still lifted. You're still in chair. See about hovering the right foot for just a moment. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, release this. Both hands down, right foot steps back. Low lunge on this side. Now let's take the side plank. Right hand's your base. Roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Slide your left foot back. Now you can keep the left foot down to set the right knee down or stack the legs, whatever keeps you up. Left arm high, keep your hips lifted. You can hold here. Now if you want to twist with this, I recommend stepping that left foot forward, but take an inhale. And with the exhale, reach the left arm underneath. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, twist. Inhale, the left arm high. Exhale, twist again. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, twist one more time. Now inhale, reach this up high, keep reaching, just hold your side plank, keep breathing. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, left hand forward, left foot forward, back to low lunge. Anjaneyasana from here, right knee down, right foot flat behind. Sink the hips down, press them forward, and then when you're ready, go ahead, open this up. With an inhale, reach your arms up high and just stay open, stay lifted, and just work to deepen the pose. So let the hips sink down and toward the front of the mat. Reach the arms up and back, keep your gaze high. And feel that long arc all through the front of the right side. Just breathe into it here. And then take an inhale. Now with the exhale, both hands down inside your left leg. And then bring that left foot forward a bit. So walk the left foot toward the upper left corner of the mat, ankle forward to the shin or forward to the knee. Curl the toes, left foot up off the floor, keep them curled and roll to the outside edge so the knee stays to the side. Now press in your hands, pull your hips forward, open up your chest. Right hand stays down, keep the right arm strong. Bring the left arm behind your back, palm face away. Draw the shoulder back and look toward the back of the mat. Now if this is good enough, stay here. Keep that left leg tense, keep the right hip low. If you want to engage it further, you got choices. You can kick into that right foot, maybe just hover the right knee as you pull that hip forward. And if you want to take it further still, go ahead, bend the right knee, and without backing up your hips, just pull the heel up toward your seat. No grip here, but keep your chest open to the side and keep looking toward the back of the mat. Take an inhale. Now with the exhale, from wherever you are, bring that right foot down, tuck the toes of the right foot. Lift that right knee up off the floor, and just arrange your feet in this low lunge. You still got the half bind with the left arm behind your back. Now, when you're ready from here, put the weight to the left foot. Right foot forward, one pace behind the left, and then right hand to your hip. With an inhale, just bring your torso all the way upright. We're taking this into a pyramid stance. So it's about 3 feet front to back, hips with distance side to side. Right foot tilted to the side, or I guess, tilted, curved. How would you say it? I'm losing the word. Anyway, right foot points to the side about 45 degrees or so. Now bring the right hand to the left at your right side. Bring the palms, get the shoulders back, open up your chest. And we'll take this down to a halfway fold. So take an inhale here. And with the exhale, slowly hinge from the hips, lead with your chest, come down toward halfway. Inhale, bring this all the way up again. Exhale, hinge forward. Now feel it on the left leg. You can bend the left knee if you need to, if it's too intense. Inhale, bring this all the way up. Exhale, hinge toward halfway one more time. Now, keep the shoulders pulled back, keep your gaze forward, keep breathing. And if you have no problem keeping that left leg straight, maybe lift the right heel up off the floor. And keep in mind, you can always bend that left knee if you need to. Now everybody, keep that fold, keep your shoulders pulled back, take an inhale. And with the exhale, slowly bend deep into the left knee, touch your belly to your left thigh. Lift the right heel up if it's not lifted already, look forward. Now, if you can stay low, give it a try. Slide the right foot forward, try to pull that knee toward your chest. But let's bring this up to standing on the left foot with your right knee high. Just work this as best you can. Now, dig down to the left big toe. Keep your gaze forward. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, keep the left arm bound. But with your right hand, take hold of the right knee and draw it up higher. Stand this up tall. This is good enough right here. If you want to take it further, right hand inside the right leg, find the big toe. Now, maybe pull the knee higher. Maybe extend the leg forward. But just breathe with this. We're still balancing. Take an inhale. With exhale, slowly keep the right knee lifted. Bring your hands to your hips. And then line the right knee up with the left. Now with your right foot lifted behind, reach back with both hands and find that foot. You can hold the foot, the ankle, the shin, whatever works best. And once you've got that grip, kick in your hands, let this pull your shoulders back and open up your chest. Now keep the front of your body open like this. Put just a little bend in your left knee. Hinge a little bit from the left hip to bring your chest forward. And then keep that right knee bent as is, but release your grip. Arms are still reaching behind you. Keep your chest open. Now, if you can take this further, keep hinging from that left hip. Bring your belly down toward facing the floor, your chest down toward facing the floor, but you're still looking forward. And if you can take it deeper still, keep the right knee bent, but start to bend to that left knee as well. And see about touching your belly to your left thigh. Just take this to where you can. Take an inhale. Exhale, release. Both hands down, both feet down, forward fold. Now from that fold, when you're ready, take an inhale, lift up halfway. And then with the exhale, set the hands, let's take it back into crow. Palms down, grip the floor with your fingers, bring the heels up and touch the knees to your arms. Belly pulled in, hips high, look forward, lean, take it slow. And then if you're going to take it further, if you're going to balance it, lift the feet together, big toes to touch heels to your seat, take that to where you can. Now if you want to bring this into that lopsided crow, come down to all fours. And for that, it's left forearm down. Left elbow to the side, bring the left hand to center, that forearm's diagonal. Slide your right hand back, stack the elbow directly over the wrist and keep that elbow pulled in. Look at your left hand, tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees, get your hips up high. Walk the feet further in, get the hips higher still. Now, to take this into balancing, right knee to the right arm, keep that elbow pulled in. Use your inner thigh, squeeze the left leg into the right, and then maybe lift the left foot as well. And when you're ready, go ahead and take it through another vinyasa. Once you find it down dog, take a moment here, pedal out. From downward facing dog, inhale the right leg high when you're ready. And with the exhale, bring it forward for half pigeon. Right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle somewhere behind the left. Go ahead, flatten the left foot. Straighten your left leg, pull the left hip forward and keep it in line with the right. Sink your weight straight down. Look for the stretch in the outer right hip and toward the glutes. Now you can stay upright like this. You can always go deeper if you want one of the back bends. And if you want to settle in, you can sink down to the elbows, maybe melt down all the way, but take it to where you need to. And just breathe with this. And then slowly, if your hands are forward, walk them back in towards center. And we're going to take this into another pose. So go ahead, roll down onto your right hip and swing your left leg forward. And let's take this into Lord of the Fishes. So from seated, bring the right heel outside your left hip, step the left foot outside your right thigh. And take a moment to find your position here. Now if your hips are tight and that left sit bone's more than an inch up off the floor, just sit with the right leg extended forward and the left leg crossed over the right still. Either way, left hand sets behind you. Inhale the right arm high. And then with the exhale, bring the right elbow past your left thigh. Now keep your spine tall. Reach the crown of the head straight up toward the ceiling. Look back over your left shoulder. Use your right arm, press into the left leg, and just breathe here. Keep twisting, keep extending at the same time. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just slowly release this. Bring both hands over to the right side, lightly open your chest to the right. And then go ahead, turn back to center. Hands behind, untangle the legs. Roll forward your hands, step back to down dog, and we'll take that on the other side. So once you're ready here, inhale your left leg high. And with the exhale, bring it forward. Left knee behind your left wrist, left ankle somewhere behind the right. Flatten your right foot, straighten the right leg. Pull the right hip forward, keep it in line with the left. Sink your hips straight down and look for some of that stretch on the left side, out of the left hip toward the glutes. Now again, keep your hips squared. You can keep this upright and move toward one of the back bends. Or you can sink down, maybe to the elbows, maybe come down all the way. Just take it to where you need to. All right, again from here, if your hands are forward, walk them back in towards center. When your hands are close enough, roll down onto your left hip, swing your right leg forward. And let's take the twist from here. So when you're seated, bring the left heel outside the right hip or extend the left leg forward. Right foot steps outside your left thigh. Now bring both sit bones down, just center yourself for a moment. And then when you're ready, set the right hand down behind you. Inhale the left arm high this time. And with the exhale, bring the left elbow past your right thigh. Now again, keep your spine tall, reach the crown of the head straight up. Look back over your right shoulder. Use your left arm and press it into the right leg. And just breathe with us here. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, release your twist. Bring both hands over your left side for a moment. Lightly open your chest to the left. And then turn back to center. Hands behind, lean back, untangle the legs. Come all the way down onto your back this time. And once you're down, draw your knees into your chest, squeeze everything in. And we'll take it in a happy baby from here. So when you're ready, just reach between the knees, take hold of the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles above your knees. And pull down on both sides. So try to press the knees down toward the floor outside your ribs. Press your feet back up into your hands at the same time and keep the tension working both up and down. Now, go ahead and flatten out your spine, sink your tailbone down toward the floor. And you can just breathe with this here. If you want to take this further, you can rock a little bit side to side. And if you want to take it further still, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then finally, when you're ready, take a deep inhale here. Draw down as much as you can. And then with the exhale, just release. Extend your legs out fully. Lay your arms at your sides. Open up your palms toward the ceiling. And just let your eyes close here and let your body sink down into the mat for a moment. And then just start to move when you're ready. Fingers and toes, arms and legs. And extend this out. Take an inhale. Reach your arms out long past your head. And then pull everything in. Bring the elbows toward your chest. Draw the knees up as well. And just take your time. Find your way up to a comfortable seat. And then just ground yourself into the mat, stack your spine. Bring your hands up to heart center. Take a deep inhale here, hold on to it at the top. And then just let everything go. I thank you for doing in class. Namaste.